If you haven't been paying attention to what happened in South Korea this week, you should be. In the middle of the night on Tuesday, President Yoon shows up on TV, says he's declaring martial law because of North Korean operatives within the opposing Liberal Party. He went straight McCarthy and the enemy from within. It was really because they wouldn't pass his agenda and his budget, and him and his wife are facing criminal charges. Well, that sounds familiar. Under this martial law, he banned all protests, political rallies, any operation by political parties. The press and publication is now under government control. Medical personnel were removed from the strike, forced to go back to work. Any offenders will be arrested without a warrant. And it said Parliament can't operate. Here's the problem with that, though. The South Korean Constitution protects the right of the parliament to overturn martial law if they reach a quorum, a majority in the parliament. So the politicians start putting social media blasts out to get civilians to come to parliament to help them get in, because the military is trying to seal off parliament and break in. This is a live stream of the Democratic leader having to leap over fences and barricades to get into parliament to vote. Something interesting to note here, that South Korea has mandatory conscription, so every citizen serves in the military. So even though most Koreans don't own weapons, they're all military trained. And it was civilians who rolled up, defended parliament, kept the military at bay, and 190 of the politicians were able to get into parliament, cast a vote. It was 190-0 to overturn martial law, and Yoon was forced to lift it. They stopped a military coup in 6 hours. Civilians had literally built furniture barricades to keep the military out so that Parliament could vote. They were pushing politicians over these barricades, over the fences, like, get in there, go vote. This shit is nuts, because if Yoon had had a couple more hours, South Korea could have lost its democracy on Tuesday night. Lost it. And South Korea has a long history with martial law, and they thankfully have a memory that history repeats itself, and they were not going to let that happen again. Major General Chen Tu-hwan in 1980s took over the government and established martial law. There was curfews, like if you stepped outside to smoke, you'd get arrested. They would mow people down, rape women, round men up, shoot them. It was complete martial law from 1980 and didn't end until 1988. The Gwangju uprising that happened in 1980, where a bunch of students protested the martial law, they killed 200 students. So this is recent history. We have got to stop believing that this stuff can't happen now and won't repeat itself. A 55-year-old man who grew up near Gwangju when the uprising happened and they killed 200 students said martial law is not just a distant memory. It is a painful reminder of how easily democracy can be threatened. Pay attention. If you have leaders who are willing to break any law to get what they want, and are willing to use the military against their own citizens, any democracy can fall if the citizens can't fight back. South Korea is the 4th largest economy in Asia. It is a super technologically advanced democratic nation. We have got to stop believing that dictatorship, fascism can't rise up and upend these type of governments at any time. It's happening in real time.